She married to save her family, but paid with her own freedom. When poverty pushes a daughter to the altar, who really wins? The smell of burnt offerings usually meant a sacrifice. But in the Okoro household that Tuesday morning, it was just the scent of cheap palm oil frying overripe plantains. Nika sat at the small wooden table in their two-room apartment, her eyes fixed on the admission letter from the University of Ibadan. It was slightly crumpled, a testament to how many times she had smoothed it out with her palms. She had been accepted into the pharmacy program. It was everything she had worked for every night spent reading by the dim glow of a kerosene lamp. Nika, have you finished packing the sachets of water? Her mother, Mama Nika, called out. The older woman's voice was raspy, a gift from years of shouting at customers in the market. I'm coming, Mama, Nika replied, quickly folding the letter and tucking it away. She walked out to find her mother sitting on a low stool, rubbing her swollen ankles. The sight made Nika's heart ache. At 50, Mama Nika looked 70. Her father sat in the corner, staring blankly at a newspaper he had already read 3 times. Since the textile mill closed 5 years ago and his health began to fail, he had become a shadow of his former self. The landlord came again while you were at the tap, Papa Nika said without looking up. He says if we don't pay the outstanding 6 months by Friday, he will throw our things into the gutter. Nika felt a cold lump in her throat. I'll talk to the woman at the pharmacy where I help out. Maybe she can give me an advance. Advance, Mama Nika scoffed, though not unkindly. How many advances can cover 200,000 naira Nika and Chidi's exam fees? And your father's medication. She looked up, her eyes watery. Nika, my daughter, God has seen our tears. Chief Silas called again. The name felt like a heavy stone falling into a deep well. Chief Silas was a wealthy businessman from their village, a man in his late 40s who had buried his first wife. He was extravagantly rich, and he had been monitoring Nika since she turned 18. Mama, please, Nika whispered. I want to go to school. I want to become a pharmacist so I can take us out of here the right way. By the time you finish school in 5 years, will your father still be alive? Mama Nika stood up, her voice rising in desperation. Look at this room, Nika. Look at your brothers. Tochukwa's shoes have no soles. Chief Silas doesn't just want a wife. He wants to take care of us. He promised to send the boys to the best schools in Lagos. He promised to move us to a flat in Srila. He will pay for your father's surgery in India. Nika looked at her father. He finally looked up, and for the first time she saw the shame in his eyes, the shame of a man who couldn't provide for his own. I am not forcing you, my daughter, Papa Nika said, his voice trembling. But look at our life. Are we living, or are we just waiting for the day the ground swallows us? The silence that followed was heavy with the weight of expectations. Nika's dreams of white lab coats and chemical formulas began to dissolve, replaced by the image of a man she barely knew, whose smile never quite reached his eyes. 2 weeks later, the introduction took place. Chief Silas arrived in a fleet of black SUVs that looked like shiny beetles in the dusty streets. He was a large man, dressed in expensive white lace, his fingers adorned with heavy gold rings. He spoke loudly, laughed loudly, and distributed money to the neighbors like confetti. Nika sat in the corner, feeling like a goat being groomed for a festival. "My beautiful Nika," Chief Silas said, taking her hand. His skin was unnaturally smooth, smelling of expensive cologne and power. "You don't need to worry about books anymore. A woman like you should be handled like glass. I will give you the world." As her family cheered and her mother wept with relief, clutching an envelope thick with cash, Nika caught her reflection in a small, cracked mirror. She looked beautiful, but her eyes were dead. She had bought her family's life, but the price was her own. The wedding was the talk of the town, a carnival of wealth. Nika moved through the crowd like a ghost in a lace gown. Everyone told her how lucky she was. They called her Lolo, the diamond of the family. That night, in the penthouse suite, the celebration ended. Chief Silas took off his heavy agbada and turned to Nika. The jovial, generous man from the party was gone. His face was stern, almost cold. "Nika," he said, his voice dropping to a low, commanding tone, "I have paid a lot for you. I have settled your father's debts, moved your family to a new house, and put your brothers in schools they could never dream of. You belong to me now." He walked toward her, and for the first time Nika felt a shiver of pure, unadulterated fear. "I expect total obedience," he whispered, his grip tightening on her arm until she winced. "Do you understand?" Nika looked at the gold band on her finger. It felt like a handcuff. "Yes, Silas," she whispered. The slap came so fast she didn't even see it. It wasn't hard enough to draw blood, but it was hard enough to let her know that the glass he promised to handle was now under his boot. "You call me sir or chief when we are alone." Never Silas Nika fell back onto the silk sheets, the sting on her cheek burning more than the fire in her heart. She looked at the door, but she knew she couldn't run. If she ran, her father would lose his medicine. If she ran, her brothers would be back on the streets. She closed her eyes and let the first tear fall, realizing that the rich life was just a different kind of prison. This is just the beginning of Neka's story. If you were Neka, would you sacrifice your dreams to save your family? Let us know in the comments below. And Dante, forget to like and subscribe for part 2 of The Daughter Who Married for the Family. Thanks for watching.